The United States in the 19th century was a nation divided. The North and South had developed along vastly different paths, fostering deep social, economic, and political divides. The North, with its bustling factories and growing cities, had largely embraced industrialization. It had a diverse economy and relied on a wage labor system. Abolitionism, the movement to end slavery, gained momentum in the North. People saw slavery as a moral stain on the nation. The South remained deeply tied to agriculture, particularly the production of cotton. This reliance on slave labor shaped its economy and society. Plantations, vast estates worked by enslaved people, dominated the Southern landscape. The South fiercely defended slavery, arguing it was essential to their way of life and economic prosperity. They saw Northern attempts to limit or abolish slavery as an attack on their autonomy and rights. These fundamental differences created a chasm between the two regions. Political compromises like the Missouri Compromise and the Compromise of 1850 only temporarily eased tensions. The issue of slavery, like a ticking time bomb, threatened to shatter the fragile peace. The 1860 presidential election proved to be a pivotal moment in American history. The newly formed Republican Party nominated Abraham Lincoln, a relatively unknown politician from Illinois. Lincoln campaigned on a platform of preventing the expansion of slavery into new territories. Although he did not advocate for immediate abolition, his stance alarmed the South. Lincoln's victory, without carrying a single Southern state, sent shockwaves through the South. They saw it as a clear sign that they had lost their political voice in the Union. Fearing the end of their way of life, Southern states began to act. South Carolina took the lead, seceding from the Union in December 1860. By February 1861, 6 more states, Mississippi, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, and Texas, had followed suit. These 7 states formed the Confederate States of America, electing Jefferson Davis as their president. They argued that their secession was legal and that they had the right to govern themselves. The nation watched with bated breath as the chasm between North and South grew into an unbridgeable gulf. The stage was set for a conflict that would test the very fabric of the nation. The first shots of the Civil War rang out at Fort Sumter, a federal garrison located in Charleston Harbor, South Carolina. The Confederacy demanded the surrender of the fort, but the Union refused. On April 12, 1861, Confederate forces bombarded the fort for 34 hours, forcing its surrender. The attack on Fort Sumter galvanized the North. Outrage swept through the Union as citizens rallied to defend the flag. President Lincoln called for 75,000 volunteers to suppress the rebellion. 4 more states, Virginia, Arkansas, Tennessee, and North Carolina, joined the Confederacy in response. The Civil War had begun. What many initially believed would be a short conflict quickly escalated into a brutal and bloody war. The nation was now pitted against itself, brother against brother, in a struggle to determine the fate of the Union and the future of freedom.